What's up YouTube, this is your girl Sion, and this is going to be a hair talk video. A lot of people say that, well, how to put this nicely, a lot of people get lazy when they get their hair put into any type of protective style. They forget that you have to take care of the hair under it if you really wanted to protect anything. So if you really want to avoid issues with your hair when you are protective styling, you still need to care for the hair that you are quote unquote protecting. Now, before I started my healthy hair journey years ago, I was like probably the biggest offender when it came to taking care of my own hair, especially when it was in braids. Braids was like my go-to, get it done and leave my hair alone for a couple of months thing. And I couldn't really figure out why my hair wasn't growing or why I couldn't retain the length that I gained while my hair was in braids. And that's because I didn't really take care of my hair, my own hair, instead of just the synthetic hair. So, a couple of years ago, I learned how to protect the style with braids and how to deep condition with braids, which like was one of my biggest problems because your hair, depending on what kind of braid hair you got, with the synthetic fibers, they can be kind of drying to your own natural hair, which can make it brittle and matty and things like that when you take the hair down. I forget what type of hair this is. This is like a Nicolline, I think, synthetic fiber, and this hair is, most synthetic fibers are washable just with plain water. So yeah, what I do love about my hair being in braids is built-in parts, because I'm terrible at part of my hair, and I'm always concerned I'm going to miss something. When it's parted like this, it's fine. But to deep condition your hair, I do normally recommend that you, like when I'm braiding my hair, that you have a day off or something like that. It doesn't take that long to do the deep conditioning, but since you're wetting heavy hair, it can take a little while for it to air dry. Because I don't think you can put heat on this type of hair, but I'm not really, and you probably could, I'm not sure if it will warp the hair, so I always air dry, say like that. But to do the deep condition, normally I'll start on a Saturday night when I'm getting ready for bed or whatever. I'll go ahead and put my deep conditioner onto my hair, and I'll rinse it out Sunday morning because for some reason I cannot sleep in on the weekends. I've tried, it's not for me. I wish I could. I'm jealous that he can sleep like literally all day. I can't do that. My body's conditions get up at a certain time, and normally I have to fight myself to sleep in to get up. So normally I'm up by 6 or so on a Sunday. Hop in the shower, takes a good 2 to 3 minutes to rinse this out, because all you're doing is just like you're doing a co-wash. You're just rinsing the stuff out of your hair and letting it air dry all day. Now I do normally, that's why I say I give it a day. You can do less if you want, but I just always like to make sure before I go back to where my hair is completely dry. You don't have to really worry about it because it's gonna dry up regardless, so you have to worry about your hair getting like a scent or anything like that. So to do a deep condition is really simple. All you need is a empty applicator bottle, whatever type of deep conditioner you use. I use so many different conditioners, so I normally just throw whatever I have on hand into the bottle. Now once a week I do keep my hair pretty clean, or my scalp clean, with the Herbal Cleanse dry shampoo, and I use this once a week. But I think today I'm going to do I like the way this smells. This is the Palmer's Coconut Oil Formula Vitamin E Repair and Conditioner. Take a little squirt of that. I'm going to use the Grow Out Solutions Herbal Conditioner. A little squirt of that. And I'm going to use the just plain Grow Out Herbal Conditioner and a little squirt of that. Now, you're not using a whole lot, and you do not have to mix products. This is just my way of doing it because I'm trying to get rid of products that I have on hand. But all you need is very little. I also use my 2 essential oils. I use rosemary and peppermint oil, and because I love the way it tingles, I use about 10 drops of the rosemary oil and about 20 to 30 drops of the peppermint. Now, I'm tough-headed. It's really no way around. My scalp is really, I'm not going to say desensitized, I guess, but it takes a lot for me to feel the tingle and things like that. So I can stand more peppermint oil than most people. I can probably apply peppermint oil directly to my scalp and it not bother me. But the normal recommendation is probably like 10 to 15 drops of peppermint oil. You don't want to go too strong and irritate your scalp. But once you get all of your oils in, it's still, like I said, be very little. It's really about yay much. You fill the rest of it up to about right here with water. So you can use warm water, hot water. I recommend lukewarm water depending on where you are and what you intend on doing after. I don't ever recommend hot water being poured directly onto your scalp because that's gonna hurt. But yeah. So, and you get about that much water. And you're gonna wanna shake it up to make it all frothy. Let's sort of like that. Now you can kind of squirt off the excess because it kind of, you get there. But yeah, you can kind of squirt off the excess. And what I do is just starting on my sides, kind of reach between the braid where it's parted at. And go along my scalp and try to squish it back. Okay. Now what you're doing with this part is you're cleaning your scalp with your fingers, so you kind of want to do that, but you also want to get the mixture into your hair to kind of squish it. For lack of a better word, I'm really just squishing it into my hair, like little kids do, like these kind of squish into their hair. Now, clean the scalp, and now this really doesn't, if you do it right, it doesn't loosen up the braids or anything like that because it's gonna dry. And the reason it's so diluted is so that you don't have clumps in your hair. So you always wanna make sure you don't have to use quite as much water as I did, but you definitely wanna make sure that you're using enough water. And it's really just kind of like a wash in a bottle because you're not really gonna be putting excess water. You know how when you co-wash when you wash your hair, you kind of have running water always, so this is kind of taking the place of that. And now for this part, because I actually did this side, so I'm just showing you how I did this. I'm gonna rinse this out pretty quickly. You can, the reason I recommend doing it starting like on a night before is you can let this sit in your hair overnight to deep condition it, and then the next morning all you're gonna do is just rinse it out. You can do that in the sink or you can do that in the shower. I normally recommend the shower because it's quicker. And if you have like one of those little shower heads, you can kind of concentrate just directly on your scalp. And that's why I use an applicator tip bottle, because you can kind of just like go in and squeeze it into your hair. And of course, if you need to run out before you get through, this takes about, probably the air drying process is the part that takes the longest. The rest of it doesn't take any time at all. Make sure I'm running the entire of my hair. Braids, and like I said, this will work with any type of braids you may have. Normally I like it best with my kinky twist or my tree braids. Now with tree braids, you use a slightly different type of hair, so you may actually want to kind of braid the hair down, which is another option you can do while you're deep conditioning. You can kind of braid the hair back while it air dries if it's like a straight hair or something like that, so it doesn't dry. Well, I guess it wouldn't dry in the wrong way, but this, and this is my last braid. Okay. And just make sure I'm going in and loosening up any dirt that may be in my scalp. A little peppermint oil because it is feeling great. Then go back between, squish, squish, squish. you can hear it in your hair. And see, if I need to run out real quickly and let it sit in my hair, I could just fully just pull my hair like I normally would, and I could really like just run out and do it just like this, just pull it back in the ponytail or something like that, and be done with them. But the next part is to, now you can do this probably like 1 of 3 ways. This is like I use up that much, so it doesn't take much at all. When you're finished, if you don't want to get into the shower and wet the length of the hair, which I don't mind doing, so that's not a problem, because I actually, well, I get new girl stuff on my hair, so sometimes I rinse that off. But what you can do when you finish doing this and you're ready to wash it out, you can really just take the empty applicator bottle and put plain water in and just go back over your hair the same way you did before. Just kind of put a towel around your shoulders and something like that, and just go through and just squirt the plain water through your hair, and it will do a little rinse off. You can do it in the sink, just kind of lean your head back like you would do any other thing and rinse off. I prefer the shower because I don't want it to collect at the bottom of the braids or anything like that. So we'll be hopping in the shower to rinse this back. And once I'm done, normally my hair will be ponytail for the rest of the day, or it doesn't really affect how it dries if you let it hang down or put it back on the ponytail. I don't think it really affects it. I prefer to let it all hang out just to make sure. And while I'm running my daily errands, my hair will be dry by the time I go to bed tonight. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or anything like that, just put it up below. And your conditioner, if you use coconut oil as your conditioner, you can put that in there. If you use castor oil as your conditioner, you can put that in there. I've got apricot oil, avocado oil. Basically anything you would put on your normal regular hair, you can dilute it enough to put into your little applicator bottle and make a deep conditioner. So again, if y'all have any questions, put it below. I will see y'all next time. As always, stay sweet and be blessed.